Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne today with another WTCOC preseason game. It's the Italians versus Ukraine. Both teams have met roughly 1.5 years ago in the ETCOC third place game, where the Ukrainians won the duel for bronze 3-2 by getting 2 deciders in a row. So the Italians might like to settle the score today. And as you can see, a few of those have played against each other already. So especially the match of Giulio Timao versus Ivaca seems to be they meet each other every so often. This game will be the focus of Nalaheim's stream. I'll concentrate on these two up top. As you can see, elo ratings in the 600s, upper 600s even, so the Ukrainian masters are in the house. Let's check if they have already started. And if you prefer one of these games, just let me know. They actually haven't started. It's surprising. Actually, no one has started right now. That's curious. Do I have the time wrong? Let's check Nalaheim's stream. No, he's waiting as well. Come on, guys. Don't leave me hanging here. I haven't prepared a longer intro, so Pavel, Bryn, and Polo Verde are starting right now. Nice. Oh, I forgot. And the others are starting as well. Okay, so here we go. Finally, I'd say. They're exchanging pleasantries. Let them, what do I say? Nice to meet you. Yes, hey, that's really nice. And just to prepare you, I expect quite fast games, especially some of the Ukrainians. Sometimes faster than you even can look or commentate on their decisions. So far, there's not actually much to talk about. Standard moves. Maybe this one here could have been placed other way to, if the Ukrainian would get a Dorito, would limit his options a bit if you'd put a road end up top, because there are fewer city caps with roads than without roads. And if you were to place it the other way around, you'd have an attacking option. So with the simple curve, Pavel Bryn tries to limit Blue's road a bit. So this creates a problem if Blue were to close their city. Any city tile over here by the Ukrainian would of course kill this square and Blue's meeple. Blue takes a monastery next to Yellow City. Even though the quad city tile is quite annoying in the beginning, it actually doesn't really hurt that much because there are enough tiles out there to quite easily expand this city and then later on close it. And then it's a double-edged sword because these now 2 points, if you close it 4 points. Yeah, you'd rather not add them to your opponent, but in this case it was the only move for the Italian. So Pavlo takes 2 roads, one to create a loop, another one needing a road end. And now Polo Verde, it's Italian, thinks about going here, risking his meeple, because there's a yellow road up top. This could work out because a Dorito or, for example, the cow over here would also restrict this square of yellow's road. So yellow might defer the kill. I don't think they will, but blue might think they will. So instead of adding the Dorito to their city, blue just obstructs yellow's road. And now that the curve is placed, blue can rather safely continue building the road, or in this case, likely closing it with the splitter whilst meepling the new city cap as well. Meanwhile, yellow just continued their road at the bottom. Just normal stuff so far, nothing extraordinary. Let's just check if all other games are running, and they are. As you can see, although this was actually one of the 2 games to start first, we are at 17% and all others are nearing 30, so they are playing even faster. As I hinted at, yellow is adding more Doritos to their city up top, now hoping to get another feed Dorito, and then whichever Dorito they can get their hands on, they'd even take the second splitter, of course, to just close this. And that's why blue thinks about going here, because 2 of the right-handed dagger variety are already gone. So if they'd add their dagger up top, they'd limit this square to the last right-handed dagger. Instead, they opt to attack this road, leaving an empty city cap line around. Yeah, it's when you hit the wrong shortcut. But they can take the city cap themselves. Yellow adds a point to their monastery, still having another monastery square here. And yellow gets to take the second city cap up top as well. So quite a nice start for blue here. Ukrainian technique, a different way, restricting both blue city and blue's road, while having a city you can safely expand in more than one place. And now yellow even would like to put a straight there, restricting blue's road even more, because 3 starting tiles are already gone. But blue gets the perfect tile in this situation. A nice horse, not just closing their road, but also trying to limit these 2 meeples by yellow. But yellow just takes a nice field Dorito to close their city, to score 18 points and take an 8-point scoreboard lead for now. So Polo Verde could now what could he actually do? Yeah, he could close his road on one end, but this would also give 1 point to yellow. Maybe with taking this field, it would still be lucrative because this also has green squares up top, so it would be quite easily expanded. Else you could opt to place it over here, maybe like this, indirectly adding a road end to your road up top. There are still two splitters, so if yellow would restrict from the bottom, that would also be okay. You can take this loop road, of course, but this gives 1 point to yellow and creates the more or less perfect route monastery square. And blue gets the road monastery. Interesting to see what they'll do with this. Yep, now he goes for the road end idea, while also still having even better road monastery spots available to them. Although this one would rather not use because this is already dead. All 4 starting tiles are gone. So let's check. Yep, the other games still a tad faster than this one here. Blue just takes 6 road points. And yellow takes a monastery up top, likely hoping to surround this, maybe from the left side of the road, or on the right side a city cap, rather this way than to close this one, and maybe meeple a 9-point field in the end. Yellow restricts blue's connection to this more or less ruin or big city over here. There are quite a few road Doritos gone already. So once yellow closes their small city on the left, they might even opt to further restrict the square if they can't even totally block this. Follow Verde now with a cow that's more or less useless except for the attack against yellow's monastery, and that's exactly why they go for this. Yellow doesn't even bother to protect this because the monastery scores 8 points already, and if blue decides to invest 1 extra piece just to prevent yellow from getting this 1 point extra for their monastery, then let them do this. And if they don't, or if you are quite a bit lucky, you might even get the road monastery beforehand, or one of the still 6 remaining curves. So blue now likely just taking 2 points. This is the last field crossroads, and that's why they're thinking so long, because the only option to liberate this meeple in the end. But considering yellow has a meeple on the other side of the road as well, just taking the 2 points might just be the move. Yellow tries to restrict blue's monasteries, maybe even kill them, but this is thwarted immediately by blue getting the last diagonal splitter. Now blue meeples the road because there's a third road end available. And if they get the second road monastery, they might even be able to expand this field to the top as well. Yellow with the previously sketched idea of adding city caps to your monastery takes the field now, can take the cap later or will take the cap later. Same MO as blue with the extender. Blue now thinks about taking these 3 points and limiting yellow's field on the right side, maybe. This one at the bottom would score the same 3 points, but this here has another point for your dead road. And at the bottom, you would supply yellow with the road end. So that's definitely a no-go. So he opts for this here, leaving an empty city cap, which in this case isn't really that problematic because both need city caps to close their extender cities anyway. So Pablo now might go here, just playing efficiently. There are still enough curves out there, but he opts to take it safe, to play it safe and close their city up top. Given that this game is quite close, I think leaving this open, yeah. The problem is there are still 3 big tiles out there, and if blue were to get one, this would break your extender city. So closing it when you can, not waiting, might indeed be the safer way. So yellow could now kill blue's monastery, but the same reason I've given earlier applies there too. Just wasting a useful tile for blocking this might not be the way to win this game. Better add this cap to one of your fields and then later score the 4+3 points with it. Blue takes a 5-point, 6-point monastery in a way that doesn't allow them to score 3 points later, because these 3 points would add this city cap and maybe a completed city to yellow's field. And because there still are quite a lot of curves out there, so closing this road is actually quite likely, but then this would also add the city cap to yellow's field. Well, yellow obstructs here, blue meeples. Is it a ruin? I think I had counted 4 road Doritos, so no way to close this with road Doritos. There are no starting tiles out there, and I've seen 2, so that this one is dead unless, yep, this is dead. Yellow just extends their city up top. Blue goes for the 5-point road. And yellow takes the easier city up top. They could have also gone over here and then hoping if there's still a cap remaining to add another city to their field. So on the scoreboard, blue has 2 points on yellow. Now even more. So this here up top is worth 15 plus 7 for the monastery, 22, 26, 30. And blue's field up top scores 9. This over here scores 8 plus the 9. So it's quite close. And blue still has more than enough meeples. What a shame. So this actually might have been it's a 5-point move. This here would have been a 5-point move as well, but have a meeple less. In this case, it's no problem. So blue's last move. 4 points up top for this city. But he has to check if there's a chance for yellow to add this city then to their field. So if there, for example, is still a curve left and I count 8 curves, so the last tile should be 1. So in that case, yellow would score 5 points over here and not the 3 up top. 4 up top because no, they have no meeple, so this would be 3 points and this is 2 points actually. And I miscounted somewhere. Oh, I missed this curve on the left. And I had counted the rotaries anyway earlier. So shame on me. Yep, yellow just scoring 1 point. And it's actually a tie. And this means win by the second player, which in our case is Polo Verde. On table 2, Angus Dwarf 4 has won their game versus Fan Alex N. But I'll stick to this table for now. Unless someone really would like to switch to table 2, then please let me know. Min break. Okay, then let's check out the 2. Yeah, have fun. That's what you should wish. Standard opening moves so far, as we'd expect from players of this caliber. Blue obstructing yellow city at the bottom, also creating an obstruction platform against yellow city up top. Now going for the field this early next to a monastery. Yeah, this can work out and pay huge dividends, but it can also backfire quite severely. For example, if yellow hadn't taken the top cap, but instead had blocked this square here, try to kill this later on. And another variety of some blockage from the top. This would be severely restricted. So double-edged sword. If it works, it's really sweet. And if it doesn't, you could even lose the game this way, and quite early at that. But blue gets to liberate, gets to take at least the one city, and now very likely to protect their monastery and their field expansion ideas up top, while also restricting Yellow City. And it turns out they only thought whether to meeple the field or not meeple the field. And in this case, I wouldn't have, because there are still options in which this gets limited quite severely. And then you have a field maybe worth 12 points with 2 meeples. And that would suck quite a lot. And that's why blue opens up the field again, adding a green square here, a road to expand to the top later on, and also adding a cap. So yellow decides to fight for the field. Of course, first order of business is to close this city, and that's the reason for this move, the protection of their city. And on second thought, just drop a farmer here. Blue takes 3 points, adding another city cap to their field, or their side of this huge field, because this will become a huge field. Unless yellow were to draw all 9 curves, which is unlikely to say the least. And here we go. Blue gets a takes 3 points plus their monastery meeple back. And up top, blue got the perfect tile to block yellow's road, namely the second dagger of 3, which would fit here, but 2 are already gone, so this poor yellow meeple has only a 50-50 chance of seeing the light of day. And even less so because someone is gonna take this cap, and then blue will try to kill this city for good. Yellow attacks on the left side, having 2 avenues, either getting one of 3 still remaining vanillas, or of course any curvy or crossroad tile on the bottom right. Blue gets one of these vanillas, adds another farmer to the field, will likely connect later with a straight. Yellow decided to take this cap because it's unlikely to get the dagger in short order. So they don't care if this would killed, it would be killed. It's 1 meeple less. We still have 6 meeples, so not really that big of a problem. But if you can defend this and actually have the chance, 50-50, you do. Blue takes just 2 points with this road monastery because it's their last meeple due to the 3 meeples they already have on the farms. But yellow could protect their city. There's still 4 tiles to close this here. Even though this would extend blue's road, it's still worth it, of course. City scores double when it closes, and cities are most often the most valuable features on the board. Especially because there are half of the road Doritos still out there with a shield. Would add 2 extra points to your city then. Blue goes for the closure on the left side, but slightly imprecise. No, not imprecise, very precise, because there's 1 tile less to attack this from the bottom than from the top due to a dagger asymmetry. Yellow, of course, tries to kill this, but blue gets a curve immediately and can protect, and now gets to close this city. Likely won't meeple the road because they already have one here to expand further if they need a place to dump road tiles. And this place here could even be used to attack this field again. But I'd say if one would attack over here, it will likely be yellow. And yellow now gets, finally, if you're yellow, finally gets one of the road Doritos, a shielded one, scoring 2 points extra. So comparing only these 2 tiles, that's a net 4 points for yellow, just due to down the luck of the draw. Yeah. Oh, Giulio Timao won 2-0 versus Devaka, and only one of the Ukrainians has won their first game. But this year would work out as long as Bennett Alex N gets the 3rd meeple on the field, that is. By closing the city with the perfect tile, a rose to add 2 more road points. They got a 6-point lead on the scoreboard. But the scoreboard lead isn't a lead in the game because it's equalized by these features alone. And then there's the large elephant in the room. This 15-point field, and it belongs to blue, even with a super majority for now, because yellow's farmer on the right side hasn't even connected. But they still have options, of course. There is this one here up top, and if I haven't missed it, there should still be the dagger, so attacking here is also possible. Yeah, the 5th game, by the way, I don't know if I have had mentioned this in the introduction, is a revenge of the ETCOC match, because back then in 2023 Samuelson won 2-1 versus Noaska, if I remember correctly, that is. So wow, yellow took more than 10 seconds to play a move. What's up here? He checked how many city plus road tiles are still available, and quite a lot are gone. There are 3 starting tiles here, 2 roses, still 1 dagger, so yeah, this is a mild restriction. But scoring these 3 points for the road is now more or less impossible for blue, because then they would endanger their city. this here has more or less the sole reason of attacking here or there. There are still 2 vanillas out there and 2 crossroads here, because blue might likely restrict this then. Curves are only... Is there even a curve left? No. All curves are gone. So this connection here might even get problematic after all. So yellow now takes these 3 points, limiting blue's monastery liberation project, and also tries to create some pressure on blue city up top. But this here very neat for blue, closing their city and the field as well. So yellow is already in desperation mode, betting a lot on getting this last dagger here. If they don't get it, at least this one scores 3, maybe 6 points. And in some cases, for example, if blue were to get the dagger and close their city even more up top. But this option is still live as long as there are vertical splitters out there, and I still only see 2. Or maybe extenders, but extenders are gone, and cows would work as well, and there are still 2 cows available. So going over here, adding your meeple there would work. The only problem with this is you need the same vanilla you already need on the right side, because this here needs either a dagger, and that's the dagger you need for your other connection, so not the one you'd use on the right side. You'd need the last crossroad to connect, because as I said 2 minutes ago or so, all curves are gone. Blue kills this connection idea and likely will take a larger ruin here. Don't see this closing in any universe actually. Just needs way too many tiles. And yellow thinks if they should connect over here, or do they count? Maybe... No, there's no monastery left, else you could consider this move. Then hoping to liberate your monastery with another one. Oh! Ouch! Ouch, 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 ouch. That's... Wow! That's risky. Because you need to connect here and then there. Wow. Wow. So this is dead. And how many straights are left? Not many. There is only 1 straight left to go over here. And blue got the straight. Did I miscount or something? Why does go... Oh, blue goes for this attack because they think yellow might use the dagger there now that they could connect 2 over here, but they can't. Either you connect here with the dagger or here. You can't put it in both places, and I have to count again. So There are 4 crossroads gone. There are all straights gone. And I don't trust myself anymore after some hiccups lately. There are all 9 curves gone. So the only piece left to connect here is the dagger, and you need the dagger here already. So quite unlikely to use it at the bottom, and then you need the vanilla cap, and there's nothing left to connect over here. So this, I'd consider this a mistake. I would have gone here and then try to connect another way, which is actually really problematic, sure, but maybe here would be possible. So yellow now limits this to the dagger, both flipping for it, gets their vanilla cap to score 4 points, extend their scoreboard lead, which might work out in the end if they... Oh, blue goes... Oh, damn it. I totally missed the last starting tile. Yeah, okay. So yellow had 2 pieces to connect over here and 2 pieces to connect there for a chance of 9/16. So roughly a bit better than 50%, not considering any blocking moves by blue. And now the field is tied. There's still this 50-50 flip. But how many tiles are left? 6 are left. Let's add the points real quick. So blue has 8 for their monastery and 2 for the city up top, plus 8 at the bottom. Yellow has 7 for the monastery, 1 in the middle for the city piece, 3 for the small field, and an 8-point scoreboard lead. So now likely... No, not here, because this could create an attacking option on the field, taking 4 points on the left side. Now they are at +5. So even if blue were to get the dagger, they couldn't even put it here, because this would add 6 points to yellow and only 4, maybe +3, so 7 for the 1 point gain to them. Blue expands their city by 1 point, but that actually doesn't help them. Not sure if they have any winning idea. Yellow with another 4 points. So unless blue finds something, this game over. So one thing you really need to consider is go over here and meeple this field. But the problem is the tiles still out there are... What is actually out there? So the cows are gone now. The horses, all big city tiles. The road Dorito should be still available. The dagger What's the last? Yeah, he goes for it. Ah, the vertical splitter. So this doesn't work out. This would have worked if there were still a straight left, because then there would be one tile with which yellow couldn't have blocked. But in this case, they even can safely just score these 4 points. And this is why we have just missed the end game this year. Wow. This is precision over here. This is clinical precision. Either you get the dagger to connect to the field and win the huge field, or you get the Dorito to tie this ruin. Both moves win you the game. Blocking on top would have worked as well, but this here shows your skill. So, this duel is tied now. Let's check. Polo Verde has won their second game versus Pavel Brin for a 2-0 lead for Italy. And this year calls for a decider. 10 points in the end. Nicely done. So is more or less 50% shot at getting 2 farmers on blue's field. On blue's 3-1 field up to now was the decisive factor, and this only works if you really count and don't forget any pieces that are still left in the deck. Oh, Polo Verde and Pavel Brin out now. 2% only mean, or normally should mean, that it's a tournament and both still have to concede. Yep. Over here, Polo Verde already did. Pavel Brin not so far. Move the scoreboard away and have a nice decider. Hopefully a close one and filled with moves that surprise your host. Yellow opting for the block instead of using the city cap. And now blue goes the big way, trying to create a large city or a ruin once this blocked over here. So now the vertical splitter even is quite iffy, because you automatically create 2 attacking options for yellow to take if they deem this necessary. Of course, they try to block this. And then it's quite a flexible situation for them. Whoa, this is rather risky. So often gets killed. And in many cases, you end up down 1, 2, 3 meeples. In this case, blue gets the perfect tile. Save this here. Actually, I'm not sure what they are thinking about. Maybe this here? No, come on. No. So now, yellow, guess you just get this one out of the way and then hope to kill this. Of course, you could take the chicken away and attack here, but then this were quite an iffy situation here. Because the port city is already gone. So now this is killed. 3 versus 1. Mini battle lost, of course, for let's say 15, maybe even 20 points in the end. But who cares? 2 meeples more for the remainder of the game. Should be quite nice. But this situation is actually very problematic, and that's because yellow just saves this the best way possible with this dagger, at least. Still having options for another dagger over here. As there are still 3 out there, they hope just to close this city with a simple vanilla cap. And that's why blue sticks a road into this square. Because there are already 3 Rotoritos gone. If blue were to get one, they could even opt to limit these two to a 50-50. Else, more or less, all other configurations are still available. Now, going over here might work because then you could use a Rotorito up top and the rose at the bottom. Or Rotorito at the bottom and a cow, not a cow, a horse. Horse is the one with the road up top. So you have 2 options, and in both cases still have 2 pieces each available. So that's actually quite likely to work out. The only problem is you need the Rotorito in both cases. Blue takes a bit of precaution against yellow's options for their cities and takes a field here. Once yellow gets a piece for these 2, they hope to get the Rotorito for the top first to then meeple this here if they have more than 1 meeple in hand. Meeple the farm, of course, not the road. And even if they don't have 2 meeples or 3 meeples in hand, and just the one they might consider this. For now, it's likely they could close their road sometime soon. There are still 6 road ends left, which they wouldn't use over here. So crossroads, and they even got one in hand. A little bit this meeple. Their problem over here is blue could limit this to the Dorito or horse. But yellow gets the second extender with a shield for a juicy 12-point city. In this case, where 5 big city tiles are gone, would of course consider to take just one cap, but I'd go the safe route just to have the firepower in hand to attack blue's field here, because this is gonna be huge. I had to bet money on this. I'd say 21 points in the end at least. But we'll see about that. So blue hoping to get something over here to liberate their monastery meeple, and that's exactly why they put this curve over here to indirectly defend this square by blocking the blocking or obstruction square. Yellow gets one of their pieces, a cow, of course meepling the field. There are still 2 road Doritos here to connect and even take a 5-point road. Again, 3 crossroads gone, so still enough out there to then close the road. Let's check the other games meanwhile, and Samuelson won 2 games in a row versus Noaska to put the Ukraine on the match scoreboard. And table 4 is also in the decider. Guess Nallerheim is covering this, so we stay here. Blue dumping this, but not just dumping this, also pre-blocking the end of very likely yellow's road here. If they had more than one meeple, they might have considered taking this monastery on the right side for 7 points, but not in a precarious situation like this, and especially not if there are still features out there to score easy points. But yellow has taken this now, and I'm not sure what blue is thinking about. You need... Oh. Yeah, okay, that's worth a thought. There are still 2 road monasteries left and 2 curves. Be sure and to visualize this. 7 curves in play. So yellow could now go over here. But this is a tricky move. This could kill this square, but it could also be used, for example, if blue were to get another crossroad to attack here and then connect 2 farmers to this field. Yeah, but blue opts to leave the one in hand and not create a super majority on this field, because right now it's only, in quotation marks, worth 15 points. And there is only one piece left over here, because blue used the 4th rotary to up top to close yellow city and connect them to the field. So there is quite a lopsided score on the board. Let's check this actually right now. So yellow has 3 points for the field on the left and 5 for their city parts there. The city up top is tied. Their monastery on the right scores 7 points. Now they might opt to meeple, or will they? It's their last meeple. I don't think they will meeple this. This here also opens up another way of attacking this main field, because they could get the rotary to score 5 points and then have chances to complete their attack this way. But blue thwarts this immediately, scoring 5 points themselves. So for blue, their features are of course the 15-point field and the big ruin, which is worth 17. And yellow scoreboard lead is 16. So this game really hinges on the last Dorito, because this would score quite a lot of points for yellow. And of course, getting a curve for blue would score them 4 points and add a precious second farmer to their field. Yellow prevents any idea of blue connecting these two here and stealing these 7, now 8 points from them. Actually put the scoreboard difference at the bottom, so I don't forget there. So quite the tight game, and both have only one meeple in hand. Yellow is the only one who will get meeples back. These two, of course, can still be liberated with the last Dorito, and the monastery over here has a few options. There's still a straight out there, so this way would work, although in reality you'd rather use it this way. And let's check starting tiles. No, they are gone. But nope, the 4th regular crossroad is also gone. And of course, there are still a few monasteries to draw. So a double road monastery, for example, would work, or regular plus road monastery as well. And takes this one, hoping to get a road monastery, of course. So if there's still a field Dorito or splitter out there, no splitters are gone. Field Doritos 3, 4. Blue might go over here, rebuilding a 6-point road city. No, it's even an 8-point city, because the last field Dorito features a shield. Instead, he opts for this, which, yeah, can do this because he has this option for the Dorito. Yellow blocks this. Both not scoring points, but now blue surely will take 2 somewhere. On the left side. So +3 for blue right now. This yellow. Do you even liberate your meeple right now? Or do you hope to get the road monastery to score 7 points? I guess you liberate it because there's a 6-point spot for the road monastery bottom. Another one there. And on the right side as well. So what does he think about? Maybe he counts all the ways he could still score more or even attack the field. For example, could take the safe route going over here, but this definitely hinges on getting the road Dorito, so I wouldn't do this. Doesn't help you. Liberating your second meeple and then just hoping maybe just to get both road monasteries for 12 points, for example, would work as well. So the actually 8 points. I had only scored 7. Gone now. And blue's ahead by just 1 point now. Yellow surely will take 6 points. Their problem is that if they don't get the rotary to blue will for 5 points. Both shielded rotoritos are already gone. And going over here would have the added benefit for yellow that this 6-point road, if they'd get the road Dorito, would be closed already. Although if that few tiles remaining and getting 2 meeples back, getting the meeple from the road back immediately doesn't really matter. The 1 point matters, or might matter actually more. Hey Kolpnik, yes, the Dual Finder 2 is just a script. The link should be in on my profile page. So after long deliberation, yellow opts to score 6 points for the monastery. Blue gets 3 points on the left, so their field is worth 18 points now, and the scoreboard lead has shrunk to 19. So +2 for blue. And what's left apart from the road monastery and the road Dorito? There should still be one curve. Nope, it's the last one yellow has in hand. very good news for them. Blue's meeple, the 75% chance farm attack is dead. If yellow were to get the Dorito, they'd even tie the big field. And now they just have to check if they need to block options for blue. Take this back and of course find a way to equalize the scoreboard. Oh, that's nice. This one here, of course, adds 2 options to get onto this field by getting the road monastery. And considering they already have this option and are starting player, and blue just got the field Dorito, yellow is guaranteed to tie the huge field by blue. There are only 3 tiles left in the game and they'll get 2, so blue can't draw both the road Dorito and the road monastery. So now blue has to find a way for them to counter one of these 2 field attacks. Because right now, if they can defend this field and dodge the road Dorito, because the road Dorito would score quite some points for yellow. So if they can hold on to their lead of the main field and overall, they would win this. So one way is here, but the problem then is you need the monastery to connect, but yellow would get the Dorito, which, if I haven't miscalculated, would win them the game. Even though this adds 6, no, they wouldn't actually, because this deducts these 3 points from yellow, adds 6 points to blue, so 9 points to blue, and it's 4, 5, 6, 12 points to yellow. So +3, and actually that's +1 for yellow. Whoa. So good on blue to take their time. This is quite the brain burner. And a move I definitely need to push to Koki. So is there any way? No, there's no way to use this piece to attack the field and then connect with the road Dorito. And if you don't add this to your ruin, yellow just outscores you no matter which tile they get actually. No. I'm confused, I'm sorry. I start to sort my thoughts. Yeah. So now yellow could connect, and they do, because this still adds 3 points to them. But blue hadn't gone for the attack. So this here works. And yellow even gets the Road Monastery to take the farm over. Whoa, nicely done. So blue could have tied the farm. But even in that case, I'm quite sure they would have lost. And if pieces were reversed by 1 point and this way by 4 points. Check the final situation again. How many cities are we having now? $27? No. I have to analyze this tomorrow or sometime later. Okay, let's check if the other games are still running and if there's anything to watch, and there's nothing. And the Ukrainians have done it again after having lost 2 games versus Italy. They won the other 3, and this time even 3 deciders, not just the 2 they had last ETCOC. The players are discussing the situation. Yeah, actually, did I score something wrong? No, I didn't. Actually, if blue would have gone over here with this, I would have scored 3 points less for the ruin. Then yellow gets the Dorito to connect to the field. And in case blue gets the monastery, they connect and they take the 27 points. So just deduct 27, because it's yellow's field now, from yellow, and add 27 to blue. And then we are at 77 for yellow. Actually, let me use yellow. 77 yellow. And 88 blue. Plus any points yellow could score with the vanilla on their last turn. Okay, I think I have figured this out, but I will check. So if you're subscribed to my channel, you might see this replay in the problems and puzzles video series. And this is it for today. Tomorrow there is another friendly match available. Again, the Ukrainians, this time versus Belgium, covered again by Nalaheim and me. We'll divvy up the lineup like today, but hold on to your seats, fasten your seatbelts, check this lineup. That's just amazing. 11 duels. That's not Carcassonne, that's football or soccer. Wow, that's just amazing. Kudos to both these teams and their captains to line up these many players at one specific date. It hopefully will be great, and I hope for many deciders and maybe a few players from Belgium who are known to be the fastest guys on earth. So to draw this out a bit more than today, to have more fun, to be able to cover more games. So I'm blathering on, and now I'll stop. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.